help me repot this Silver Sword Philodendron today. I've had her for about a year. I think I got her at Home Depot a while ago. She's been in this cash pot inside of this super cheap plastic flimsy pot, and I've noticed that a lot of the new growth that she's been giving me is not doing the greatest or is coming in kind of small. So I think it might be time for a repot. As you can also kind of see, there's lots of like little aerial roots coming out. So she's definitely begging for some different nutrients. So I think giving her a repot with some fresh soil, and as you can also kind of see from the bottom that there are roots coming out the bottom. So I know that she's got to be at least a little root bound. And judging from the sheer lack of soil that's in this pot, I think it's definitely time. So let's get started. First, we're gonna set up my plant mat that my boyfriend got me for Christmas a few years ago. If you don't have one of these, I highly recommend getting them. They keep your work area nice and clean, unless you're like me who spills dirt all over the floor anyway. But it keeps the table nice and clean. He got me the biggest one that they offered, which is mildly hilarious considering it takes up most of the table. It's really easy to open. They collapse really easily too, and they're really easy to clean. This one is water repellent, so it's really fun to sometimes spill water on this because the water just beads up on the surface and you can just kind of play with it. But yeah, I mean, it helps me stay a little bit cleaner because I am not the cleanest person when it comes to repotting or doing anything plant related, which is why he bought it without even me having to ask. So we're gonna start by taking the cash pot out. We're gonna get rid of the old plastic pot. And I have noticed that two of the roots are kind of connected on the bottom, but it kind of looks like one of them's really thin. So I'm just gonna break it. And then we have this one straggly long root sticking out, and a few little ones too here and there, which is okay. So we're gonna go ahead and start. I like to grip mine, as I said in one of my previous videos, I like to grab it kind of around the neck, as close to the root ball as possible to avoid breaking off any top parts or breaking off the root ball. And if it doesn't come out easily, which this one doesn't really come out super easily, I like to give the pot a good squish. We're gonna squish it pretty good. Luckily the soil that's in here is pretty loose. So it should, if I shimmy the pot a little bit, it should start to come loose with minimal root damage. Yeah, you can see, as soon as I can get the dirt to stop spilling everywhere, it is a little root bound. So we're just gonna give her a quick freshening up. I'm gonna break up some of this dirt, and then I think we'll move on to the next step. So I will be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So I got what I could off. Since the mixture that they had used in this plant was primarily orchid bark, there was a lot of roots that had grown straight into the orchid bark, which made for some interesting dirt removal. But I think I got most of it, so we're gonna go ahead and try and repot it. I had originally wanted to use this big white pot, but looking at the root ball now, I almost think I should put it back into a pot closer to its size. So I'm gonna try and find a pot closer to its size if I can. I'm running out of options. So I'll be right back again. So I had to pause the last video, or the last half of the video, because I went to repot this and realized that the pot that I had was really big and the other ones that I had are too small. So it made me kind of nervous to plant it because I didn't want it to struggle. So we went to Dollar General today and ended up buying some new pots, which didn't even buy the right size pot anyway. So we're gonna use this one, which is about an inch on either side. It's a little snug, but makes me feel a little bit better than using one that's too big. So we're gonna continue with that repot. And so I have all the roots cleaned off to an extent. I had to kind of bury her in soil again since I took a brief interlude to go fix my pot issue, but it should be okay. So we're gonna start by mixing into the new pot some of the old soil and some of the new soil. So good mixture of both, just to make sure that it gets enough nutrients from the new soil. And we're gonna add in some more orchid bark. I know I said it had too much, but I'd rather still it have some than none. And we're gonna try and mix that up really good. I don't know what it is with my spoon. Sorry, face itches. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour a little bit out because I poured too much in. We're gonna try and create a little bit of a well in the center. Since the dirt's pretty dry, it's kind of hard to do that, but just gotta make sure that I have enough room for the root ball to fit, preferably without touching the sides. In this situation, we're just gonna see what I can get. That should be enough. So now we're gonna come in and backfill, and then we're gonna give it a shake. Backfill a little bit more. Grab some new dirt. Squish it in the pot a little bit just to kind of secure it a little bit better. Give it a shake, and she should be all good to go. So that's it for repotting the Philodendron Silver Sword. Hopefully she does okay. Otherwise, I'll just repot her again in like a month or so, or whenever the roots start to come out. I think this will help a little bit. It's got some funky growth going in, so maybe that'll help get that to clean up a little bit. It'd also help if I didn't try to propagate it every other week, but that's okay. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Feel free to like this video for more content. Let me know if there's any questions you guys have in the comments, or if you guys want to know what any of the products or materials that I used, I can try and supply those for you.